From the time he was a small boy up to his adult youth, Roy Munson was destined to be a bowling champion, and that he did. The 1979 Odor Eaters champion he became, and it seemed as if the sky was the limit when it came to his future. With the opportunity of supplemental income, he tags along with fellow competitor and future foe Ernie Big Ern McCracken to play against less than desirable opponents. One night, in what it seems to be a big score, turns out to be a tragedy in the form of Roy's throwing hand. We fast forward 17 years later to a low-life, alcoholic version of Roy Munson who simply never found his way post-accident. During a visit to the local bowling alley, he stumbles upon a young phenom named Ishmael Borg and suddenly has a brilliant idea to bring him towards bowling glory as a manager. But there seems to be one problem. Ishmael comes from an Amish community where no one knows about recreational activities. The convincing to get Ishmael to go with Roy to enter a big tournament in Reno, Nevada comes with reluctance, but when Ishmael finds out his family is on the verge of losing their farm and owes $500,000, it becomes a no-brainer. They quickly set out to Reno with the help of a gangster's girlfriend named Claudia. It's a wild, adventurous ride full of unknowns, new experiences for some, and of course, bowling. Can Roy lead Ish to the promised land to save his land and maybe earn a little self-respect? Tonight, two dictionary salesmen ride a gravy train with biscuit wheels as we do a discussion of sorts on the 1996 Farrelly Brothers cult classic, Kingpin. This is a production with one hand, and you are listening to The Name's Not Boy. It's Roy. Edition of Just for Flix. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Patty B. Tonight we're hitting the alleys. We're setting forth on our path, and with me is Mr. B-Dog, Mr. Bandon, Mr. Brandon, not Mr. Bandon. It's Mr. Brandon, a real Munson. What's going on, man? How you doing this morning?
Spoke the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say I got Munson into this movie. When you said to go into the back alley too, I thought we were going to go snap our fingers and start dancing, just like West Side Story.
And you're a jet. You're a jet,
yeah, right? I think Woody Harrelson's character would fit with the Jets. Maybe Ishmael too.
You're a jet. You're a jet. Cutting hands off.
He sits there. He just claps his little.
He was sniffing glue in the parking lot.
That's so bad.
Dude, I love that line in this, man. He's like, oh, you don't have to sell them to read them, or you don't have to read them to sell them, is what the dictionary.
No, I know this is a huge movie for you. This is one of your movies that actually made your top 10 list on movies if you were stranded on an island.
It did.
I think this is the one you shocked me with, because I always thought you were going to put Bottle Rocket up there before you put Kingpin up there.
No, I think I've had such a deeper relationship with this movie. Bottle Rocket's been more of a 10-year discovery for me. This has been a whole life discovery. Or like I've known about this movie. I've watched this movie when I was probably like 8 or 9. I know that's probably terrible for an 8-year-old to be watching, but my uncle was a huge fan of this movie, and he showed me this movie, so it's always been a huge favorite of mine. Just the performances we get from Woody Harrelson to Bill Murray. Even I think Randy Quaid's even a nice little fit in this movie. But I've always had I think you would say this too, is the Farrelly Brothers movies have always been had a common theme. But we got Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
We got There's Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This movie I think is kind of the deep cut of their catalog, in my opinion. Like, it just doesn't get thrown around a lot. People know about it, but I don't know. It just seems
Well, I think this
like
is
yeah,
going to bring up the first talking point for us because I do have a fun point about that with the Farley brothers. But I think it's something to deal with a game that we like to usually play too, what is the budget?
yeah.
Pat, what do you think the budget for this film was?
Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and say 23 million,
Little higher,
25,
two more,
27.
27. It grossed worldwide a little over 25 mil. So it was a flop.
Yep.
And this is what I was reading on this on IMDb. This was a flop for the Farley brothers, possibly due to its release date in the summer of 1996, which was the same time for the 96 Olympics.
Yeah.
And the Farley brothers do state that is what they feel is the cause of it, because this is kind of like Office Space here. They didn't start getting money back for this film till the movie was released, for homes or for
Mhm.
on video, and it would be video at the time. That's where they started making the money back. And it was, what was it, probably Christmas time or near the winter of that same year the movie was coming out,
Mhm.
um to buy. So what, for this to be, I agree with you, like for the Farley brothers, I will put this up there. I'm gonna put it, and I know I'm probably gonna heat for this. This isn't my favorite sports movie. It's probably not my favorite Woody Harrelson film. But for this movie to be the Farley brothers, like one of their only big flops,
Mhm.
I still would have probably, if I probably would have went and saw it during the time, because
I get
like Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors. I can watch him in a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
mean, he's got so much range too that he's got, just from Zombieland. I mean, I love Zombieland. It's such a
another movie with both Bill Murray and him in it,
yeah.
so Bill Murray plays himself.
Well, that's the thing is when I saw Zombieland, I popped a little bit harder because of Kingpin. I was like, "Oh my god, they're back together." It's like bigger.
I will only say this, and I will say this out here, and I know and again, I might get heat for this. I am not a big Bill Murray fan. I never really
Yeah.
have been. I just feel like, and it's nothing towards him. I just feel like it's his humor that gets me, where it's just like I don't find that funny, I guess is a good way to do it. A good way to say it. Like, it's nothing personal to him. I do like movies with him in it.
Mhm.
Saint Vincent is a good one with him. I like him more when he's in a serious role. And I know I say that a lot about comedy actors, but he is one that I'm like, he is such a good drama actor that I feel like he could do so well in more movies like that.
I think you would like Lost in
I
Translation.
have seen Lost in Translation, and it's
Yeah,
okay. I think the ending gets me, where it's just like I
it's
don't.
unsatisfying,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
just like, why?
and
But that's why I said, like, but I want to go into a couple points before we go into likes and dislikes about this film and some other talk points we have. Did you Do you know who originally was looked at to play Ishmael before Randy Quaid?
I don't.
It is an SNL alum,
Okay.
and a pretty big one. Chris Farley.
No way.
Chris Farley was almost played Ishmael. The only reason he didn't is at the time he had an obligation to play in The Black Sheep.
Oh, okay.
And so that derailed him from being in the movie. To be totally honest, and I'm going to put this out here, I could have seen Chris Farley better in this film than Randy Quaid. This is a movie for me where Randy Quaid, I just feel like it doesn't fit him. Like, when you get movies like Independence Day, and even though that's a serious movie, he is one of the comedical reliefs in the movie. You have him in Christmas Vacation, European, or what was it, just the normal National Lamp? Is it National Lampoon Vacation or European Vacation he's into?
Well, he's in Vegas Vacation.
Vegas Vacation. Thank you. I don't know why I knew he was in Christmas Vacation because that's one of my favorite roles with him in it.
Christmas in Vegas,
Mhm.
and he's the same character in Vegas, and
Yeah.
it's not as iconic as his role in the first one or in the Christmas, but
Best scene was when he's out there in his underwear in the bare stinking winter, just sitting there like, yeah, this is full, and I'm like, what the hell? Um, that Days of Thunder, I actually praised his role in that movie too, because I
Days
thought,
of Thunder is really good.
and with him in it, that's an awkward role for him to be in, but it fits him so well.
It does.
But this movie, and I won't go into it as dislikes. I just did not feel it fit him. If I saw Chris Farley, I'd probably been like, yeah, I could have seen that, because I could have seen him play that mild. Like, I think of him. You want me to tell you this movie why I say that? Is Beverly Hills Ninja with him in it.
I've never, that's with Chris Farley, isn't it?
Yeah, it is with Chris Farley. That's the movie that made me go, I could have seen him as Ishmael. Like, seriously, I could have seen him as that.
I really do, and I don't mind Randy Quaid in this personally. Like, it's just, I don't know, he adds kind of like a dumb, that the way he plays off that dumbness, or I guess more just like used to what they're used to, being from an Amish community, not knowing a lot of um stuff from the outside world, basically. So I just love how he plays that off, kind of like when he's he's like, I can find some things out by myself, and he's taking at the urinal.
And it's nothing like bad towards it. I'm not, it's nothing bad towards Randy Quaid. I'm not saying that at all. I do like Randy Quaid.
No, I get it. Yeah,
But
I could see, like, I see what you mean by Chris Farley fitting in a little bit better.
yeah,
I mean, I I always see Chris Farley as like a high energetic guy.
I
You
know,
know,
but you
he
imagine
likes
like
to
him
always
becoming that during the time Munson's taking him out on the road. That would have been funny. Like,
yeah, there'd probably be a little bit harder party
oh,
scenes. I
dude,
don't know.
like the
Yeah,
tattoo scene would have been perfect for him. Like, oh,
yeah.
what?
Or even like, dude, and I love the small cameo from Chris Elliott in this,
Yes.
at the Baccarat, or at the, is that what they're playing? I think they're playing Baccarat
Yeah.
at the table. And oh my god, he comes up to him at the bar. He's like, "I'll pay you $1 million if you."
See, I'm not going to go into that scene because that was actually one
No, no, no. But I'm just saying, like, I know.
one of the
But hold on, real quick too. When you watched that for the first time, did that kind of catch you off guard?
It did. That scene alone made me go, "Why was that needed?" Like, I did not get the scene. I didn't
There's weird,
like, I get
yeah.
it, like, Ishmael was supposed to be, like, a lucky person and all that because, he got all that, but I was just like, it kinda felt like, how do you say, it's like The Last Jedi, right? You have
Mhm.
all this going on, and then all of a sudden you have a gambling scene. It's like, how? Why? And then he comes up, "Oh, yeah, I'll pay you 100 or, $1 million if you do this," and it's like, "What?" It just makes sense. I get it was supposed to be helping him through a situation, he was imagining it, but it was just a point that I was just like, "No, don't do that." And then have the, Madonna's Virgin, Like a Virgin,
Yeah.
the song
And he's
come
all throwing the money
yeah,
around.
and it smells all, like, laying on the bed. But so I'm curious to see, there was 2 actors that were looked at, and one actually turned it down that was supposed to play Munson.
Okay.
Who do you think was offered, and who do you think turned it down? Or who do you actually, let me rephrase. One was looked at, one was offered, and they turned it down. Who do you think turned it down?
Can I throw somebody out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jim Carrey
Okay,
or Nicolas Cage.
so Nicolas Cage is the one that turned it down.
Really? I didn't even look that up too. I
So
just kind of
Jim
guessed.
Carrey was actually the first choice for them for McCracken before Bill Murray was.
They really did to Nicolas Cage, huh? I'm
They
like
offered
shocked.
it to Nicolas Cage, and he turned it down. They were looking at Jim Carrey for McCracken. Michael
Oh my,
Keaton was also looked at the role for Munson.
holy shit, dude! Sometimes the sun does run to the dog's
I
ass
don't,
every
I
once.
don't, I don't know how I would have felt with both Nicolas Cage and Michael Keaton for Munson. I just, what was it? This is Nicolas Cage's like peak moment.
Remember Michael Keaton? You said Michael Keaton from Munson?
Yeah, that was one they were looking at too. I can't see Michael Keaton as much. And again, I've said that before. And Michael Keaton's a great actor. I don't want people to think I bash Michael Keaton. I love his acting. I love a lot of movies he's in. Michael Keaton, you want me to be honest who I could have seen him play? I could have seen him play McCracken. You imagine the role he played as Chick Hicks, right? That cocky, arrogant car that he thinks he's better than everybody. Kind of the same thing for
Mhm.
McCracken. McCracken knows he's better. He's done all this stuff, but giving credit where credit's due, Bill Murray was a good person for that role. I do feel that is personally him. I don't look at it as I don't think he's a jerk in real life. I've never said that once. I just feel like that is just the personality he gives off. It's like, yeah, I could see it like that. Like this diner scene where he's like, "Hey," and he goes, "Oh, not you, her."
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Dude, the whole when him and Roy are sitting at that table
yeah,
eating, and he's like, "Don't you wanna make more money?" And he's like, "Mm." He's like,
yeah.
"Why don't you go outside and finish that for me
Mhm.
and come back here?" He takes the bowl, and then, like, when the lady comes in, she's like, you want another, vodka tonic?" And he's like, "Yeah, just keep it coming, sweetie, I got a long drive." He's like, "Hey, do me a favor, can you wash off that perfume when you come back to my
He's such a
table?"
dick.
He just doesn't miss. Like, I know the comedy back then is a lot different than,
What
what
it
it is
is
today. To
now.
be honest with you, we don't get comedy movies like just a good we haven't gotten a really good comedy movie in a while, not like even how they made them 15 years ago.
Well,
Um,
it's kind of like like you get comedy movies here and there that are really good, but the most of them, it's taken
yeah.
over by just either grotesque humor or it just gets to the point where it's just like, why do I care? Like, it's not like these where the humor does stick. But that's why I said, like, it's just one of those movies. Like, McCracken fits it. Like, I was actually reading on this, that scene, right? In the diner. He felt so bad because they were just bystanders actually in the movie. He felt so
Oh,
bad
Bill
after,
Murray.
yeah, the two girls that he was talking to.
I think I've heard something about
And
that, yeah.
when they stopped shooting that scene, he went over and apologized to him because he didn't mean to be a jerk to him. But it shows you, it's like you said, it shows you how much improv that guy has. And if he can do that just off the spot, it's like, well, crap, that's actually really good if you can do something like that. He just I will give props. I think that's something we should talk about as Earn. I think this is a good point to bring up because I only say this first because Ernie McCracken or Big Earn is listed as like one of the best comedy villains of all time. Do you agree with that statement? And what are some
Oh,
you would actually agree with? Like what?
yeah, no, I would fully agree with that. I mean, we were kinda talking about this, off air, but it's like, you know I think it just doesn't get talked about enough,
Yeah,
especially with think of all the movies he did make, right? We have Groundhog Day. I know you're not a big fan, but, like, you have
I
What
know I've
About
watched
Bob?
enough of them though. Like
Groundhog Day,
Scrooge,
Strike,
Scrooged.
Scrooge. Oh, Scrooge is a good one.
That is
Um,
that's what I said. Other movies during that.
Caddyshack,
Yep, but Caddyshack was like one of his first ones, like he did as a movie.
like Stripes.
Yeah,
Well,
Strike.
Stripes, that's like his first him and,
That was his first breakout
Harold
role.
that was Harold Ramis's first movie,
Yeah,
I think.
it wasn't that John Candy's first movie too.
One of his first roles, yeah. Because I think Judge Reinhold's in it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love Judge Reinhold the
uh,
best.
what was the other thing I was thinking?
Big fan.
Like even that, like okay, so didn't this movie come out the same year as Rushmore? 96?
Rushmore was like 98.
Oh,
This is
it was
96. This
okay.
96 it came out
So it was
or
before
Kingpin.
Rushmore. Kingpin
Yeah.
was before Rushmore. Okay.
Yeah, because then yeah, I think of it too as like the Farrelly Brothers movies. It's like Dumb and Dumber was 94, Kingpin's 96.
Mhm.
Uh Something About Mary's 98, I believe.
Oh, so they pretty much did like every 2 years, pretty much.
Yeah, every 2 years, and then in 2000 is when they did, Me, Myself, and Irene,
Hmm.
or I think maybe 2001 they did Me. I'm not certain. I didn't I can look it up here, but, for some reason, I thought they did Saving Silverman. It just seems like a movie that they would do, but
I think so.
oh, they did, Shallow Hal.
Oh
with
yeah,
Jack Black.
they did do Shallow Hal. I forgot
Yeah, they
about
did
that.
Shallow Hal. Yeah, Saving Silverman seems like a movie they would have done, but uh, that's another good movie.
A movie
But
for
anyway,
another time.
a
Uh,
movie for another time.
but I
Certainly.
agree with you. Like I think McCracken, like I came in going into this movie because this was actually my first time ever watching this film. I've never watched it. I came in with an open mind, going, okay, it's Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid's in it. You know, I like Randy Quaid too. Bill Murray was kind of like, I don't know about that. Like, and it's nothing
Yeah.
bad. It's not like George Clooney level like hatred. I just don't care.
I don't get that,
I just
man.
don't care for Bill Murray's humor.
Well,
And
you let one movie ruin
oh,
George
I've
Clooney.
watched multiple George Clooney films. It's not just one
You're
I've
like, I
watched.
hate Ocean's 11, so you're gonna tell me you hate Ocean's 11 next.
I've watched. I don't like Ocean's 11. I don't.
Okay, I will say with you though, I love the OG Ocean's 11 from the 60s.
The Dean Martin one, the
Yeah,
original one.
Rat Pack. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
classics.
no, but
Hollywood,
I'm not,
stop remaking movies. Come on.
bro. But this one is not bad. With like how many people we have in that movie? Like, come on, you gotta appreciate that. You can
No,
appreciate that cast.
no. Like 3 of the actors I don't care to watch on a regular anyway.
Who, Matt Damon? You're
I
gonna
don't
tell me
like
Matt
Matt
Damon?
Damon as much. I don't like now, mind you, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, I don't like a lot of their movies, but I will watch them. I do like some. George Clooney, I have just every movie I've watched him, I'm just like, for you to get paid as much as you do, you don't deserve that.
I think I've told you with Brad Pitt how I feel. I love Brad Pitt movies,
Mhm.
but it's like he's got a couple different ones that are good. But I mean, one personal favorite of mine is A River Runs Through It.
See, mine is Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black's good.
Him and Anthony
I don't.
Hopkins are great in that film.
I haven't watched. And the girl from, I don't know her name, but it's the girl from Mallrats. I
Yes.
think
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't remember her name though. But
it's the main girl and yeah, the main love interest.
like even then, like going back to McCracken, I actually did like his character. Like it fit him. It fit Bill Murray. It fit him
It
completely.
did, and I think it was better too that they even let him have the kind of free range dialogue. You know, like the fact that they just, I know you said that that's what he kind of typically does in his movies,
Mhm.
or he has a tendency of doing that. I just think it kind of worked really well with what they had to accomplish in this movie.
I think one of the other things I want to bring up with this, I think there was only really one scene I didn't care for, and it is the scene. Like it wasn't like it was a bad scene. I just wish some of the dialogue was changed a little bit. Was the
Yeah.
scene where they confront each other in Reno before the matches happen?
Mhm.
Like I like when you find out Claudia and him used to have a history too.
Out of all the people too is
Yeah.
what's crazy.
Yeah, I just felt like it was kind of like okay kind of thing, and it just kind of felt like some of the lines could have been a little different. Like
Yeah.
I that's the only thing but it wasn't a bad scene. I did like the scene with him where he's like, "Oh, take me back," and then he looks around and he just sees Big Earn at the monitor sitting there typing stuff up on the screen.
Oh my
That
gosh,
scene
that's
made me
he's got,
laugh. How crazy he was going when Munson got ahead of him. Like just to have those moments, it just shows you like even what was it? One in the scene like where he was facing charges for or not charges, but he was facing a hearing for like a paternity thing or something like that. I can't remember the thing, and he goes, "Oh, they can't prove nothing." Like,
oh yeah. Oh, one of my favorite lines that they do is like with the reporter. She's like, how do you feel about going into the tournament this week?" And you say, "Well, I'm afraid if I fall and slip, I might lose."
like even in those first 15 minutes, and this is a like a big thing for me that I actually said that first 15 minutes of that film was really good. I was like, I like this. Like, I like the setup. I like up to where you get the hand cut off. Then it kind of
Okay.
went a little, okay, where are we going kind of thing.
So you enjoyed like
The beginning.
the beginning sequence, even like when he's a young kid and with his dad. He's like,
I actually
you keep
really enjoyed that
you got
part.
yourself something sweeter than you."
I think that was something that I really enjoyed that I wish it would kind of carry out through the movie a little bit more is
Yeah.
that love that his dad gave him for the sport and his, how his dad and him were. Because then all you get from his dad after he leaves and after that time skip was that his dad passed away 5 years before or 10 years before. And he didn't even show up for the funeral because he was embarrassed to show his face. That was it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like I wished there was more on that. Like it was like maybe he
Yeah, I do, I agree with that. I think that they probably could have capitalized a little bit better on the serious undertones of this movie. Like, they do a really good job with that in Me, Myself, and Irene. Because like, by the end of that movie, you get really invested in Charlie's character. But for what they gave us, there's I agree, like, with the I wish there was more interaction with him and the dad in
yeah,
the movie.
I agree.
And that actor actually does a lot of work with there's a lot of I think there's, like, 4 different actors in this movie that you see in all of their movies.
Mhm. I've
With
seen the dad in a few of them.
the dad's in a few of them, the gangster that Claudia's with, he's in all of them. He's the buddy cop in Me, Myself, and
Oh,
Irene.
yeah, he is, I forget about that.
Yeah, and then the guy at the bar is also the guy at the bar in, what's it called? Dumb and Dumber.
I don't remember him as much. I'll have to go back and watch it.
And then one more, Ishmael's brother
Yes.
is the detective in, Dumb and Dumber. When they go the guy that has
Really?
the Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't have guessed that. I
uh-huh,
I wouldn't have guessed that at all. That's why I said, like, even that, I feel like one of the highlights I wanna talk about, I feel like we should go into it, is Munson. Woody Harrelson for this role was perfect. Like, I have
mhm,
no critiques about his character at all. Like I said, other than the whole thing that I wish we would have gotten more with his dad or maybe seen a lot with him, like how he's teaching Ishmael. I kind of wish we would have gotten that, like how his dad taught him. But other
mhm,
than that, his character throughout the film was actually really good. Like him and Claudia's relationship, I know I've talked about that. I really enjoyed that little relationship the two have with each other. I do like the whole, like, oh yeah, I'm part of your business now. We're going into business together. And then they actually have a fight, which I didn't like the fight. That was actually one of my critiques about the film. That was a stupid fight. That was a really bad fight. But then you see after Ishmael leaves, okay, we got to work together. We got to do that. And then when she leaves to protect him and Ishmael,
mhm.
yeah, they think they walked out on them, but in reality, she was protecting them.
Yeah, and, it sucks to and that's the one thing I don't like is how that kind of follows throughout I mean, I like it, but it's a thing I dislike while watching the movie, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't hurt the movie in any way to me, but I don't like it when I see it, like, with the whole when she leaves them kinda down in the dishes, like, it's just them 2 now, like, she got him here, and then she's leaving all of a sudden,
Are you trying to say
like
she's a real villain, Pat? You trying to say
I
she's
just
a
dude, I kinda yeah, and that's the thing, I find myself not liking Claudia. I think Claudia is more of the villain in this movie than,
you
uh Bill Murray, even though oh my god. You can edit this out, but the last like, literally, honestly, it's the last part of dialogue in the movie when the Amish people are like, "Bye, Brother Munson. Bye."
you know what? I'm gonna disagree with you with the villains, but you know what? I think we got a little interruption going on here. I think I I think you got that 1 or 9 or 7 and 10 split going on right now. So I think we need to take care of that first, shall we?
Oh, and we have the J4F Gauntlet. Tonight, we celebrate, we go down a gauntlet of sports movie villains. I am ready, B-Dog.
Uh,
Give it.
this is the
Let's see
first
what we
time we're
got
gonna
here.
do.
We're
So
working on it.
this is gonna be the first time we do this, fans. So if you guys like this, please comment down below. But what this is gonna be is like a gauntlet match, or what you would see as this or that situation. I got a list of 10 sports movie villains. Pat's going to choose which one he prefers down the list. Okay. So we're going to start off with the
Oh,
first match. Since we're in the spirit of Kingpin, we're going to start off with Ernie McCracken
okay.
versus Strands and Fairchild Van Waldenberg. from
fuck
Blades
that.
of Glory.
Good. I love it. Still going with Big Earn though. Yeah, Big Earn it is.
Big Earn. Okay. So you got Big Earn or Rachel Phelps from Major League.
Big Earn.
Big Earn. Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to think about who that was for a second.
Rachel
I knew who
Phelps,
that.
the owner.
They have the thing like we're gonna take off a piece of clothing
Yeah.
every game we win. I'm Lou Brown. That was why it was unexpectedly
Yeah.
good Lou Brown impression for me.
No, I'll think about it.
I think someone's playing with you.
All right, you got Big Earn now, or Bud
Okay.
Kilmer from Varsity Blues.
We're going with Big Earn, baby.
Big Earn, okay. Okay, Big Earn or John Kreese from the Karate Kid franchise.
Big Earn. I'm sorry, but Big Earn.
Oh, you hurt my feelings on that one.
I don't know. Yeah,
Okay,
well,
this one I think
this
is gonna. This next one I think you're gonna have a little tougher time with.
All right, we'll see.
Big Earn or Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be coming. I'll take Shooter McGavin.
Oh, taking Shooter McGavin. All right, Shooter. Shooter McGavin or Ross the Boss Rhea from The Goon.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Steve Shriver's role.
Oh, okay. Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin.
I don't know. I had to think about that. Thought about that too hard.
Okay, Shooter McGavin or Jean Girard from Talladega Nights.
Ooh, Ricky Bebe.
Ricky.
I'm from Formula E. I'll take I'll take John Girard.
Okay. Okay. John Girard. Let me choose this. John Girard or White Goodman from Dodgeball.
Oh, White Goodman.
White Goodman. Okay. And your last one. White
Jody
Goodman
Lipson.
to compare to one of my favorite villains in all sports movies. White Goodman or Ivan Drago from the Rocky franchise.
Oh, that's a serious sports villain.
Hey, I had a couple of serious ones in here. What are you talking about?
I know, but that's the one that stood out for me.
Thank you.
I think Drago's gonna win that. And Drago's gonna win that not even due to it being he doesn't have it's sports movie villains. So I think for how serious of a movie that is, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue, but his presence is what makes him scary. His presence is what makes him a bad guy. It's USA versus Russia.
Well, even in the Creed franchise, how much Rocky has to deal with Drago still.
He kills Apollo Creed.
If he dies, he dies.
He does steroids.
Dude, he was one of the freakiest sports villains to me in all sports movie history. I've always looked at him and I went, I don't want to F with you. Like,
I'm surprised you didn't put Clubber Lang in there.
I tried to do different movies. So I tried to do different sports as well. So I wasn't doing that. It was hard for me to choose basketball because the only villains I can think of is Space Jam. And then I'm thinking, okay, what else can I do? And then I'm like, I wasn't going to choose Little Nicky or the devil that does the
guys. Are the main guys in is it Dan Aykroyd and Daniel Stern the main bad guys in Celtic Pride?
Well, I don't consider them villains though. Like they take them, but in reality, in some ways, they feel like they're heroes to their team because they took the enemies or their rival team's star player away.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it as them as villains. I think this was a good list for you to do. So I think it's time to turn back to our original program schedule.
I think it is too, sir.
And we're back. Pat only got the 7-pin, not the 10-pin. You're not Roy Munson, buddy. I think you need to change that name on your thing there.
You're not Big Earn. Definitely not bigger. Unless the tattoo artist.
But let's talk about some of the other stuff. Like one of the other things I wanted to bring up, and we talked about a little bit with Munson already. Do you look at Munson as the hero of this film? Or do you just look at him as a less terrible version of McCracken?
That's so good. you could say you could say I think it's equal, right? They're about equal as human beings are. Like, they just show I think they show more in depth, obviously, to Roy Munson because he's the
Yeah,
main character. So they it seems like it glorifies him a little bit more than
yeah.
McCracken. They want you to think McCracken's the bad guy. Like I just talked about 10 minutes ago before we did our segment there, is I think Claudia's more of the
How dare you?
antagonist in the movie. But I also see what you mean as far as equals go between Bigger and Roy Munson because they're just as equal scumbags. They're doing the same stuff. And like you said, maybe it could be in a more uh humane way, or the way that with the whole goat, they bring the goat for the
Oh,
farmers.
that whole scene when you see her trying to woo the men and they weren't looking at her, and then that's when Ishmael's like, "I got it. Go get a sheep," and they're like, and then he gutters and he's like, "It's just like okay,
And then he's all waving
yeah."
at the
That, eh, but that's
we don't have a cow, we
oh
have a
yeah,
bull.
God. This is something I want to talk about with this or with Munson because but to go with that point quick for you, I do feel like he's just a lesser, version or less terrible version of McCracken because you see him how he changed his
Yeah.
ways. He was somebody who was big into this thing and would have done everything the right way. If it wasn't for Big Earn to corrupt him the way he did, we wouldn't have that issue.
Yeah, I love the whole coming full circle of his
Oh
character
yeah.
in this movie for
But
sure. It's, I think, the most satisfying thing of the movie.
like I feel like with him, and I think I've already brought this up already, the only thing that I critiqued about his full circle characters, I wish we'd have gotten more of what his dad taught him through life. And I don't feel like we got
Mhm.
that in this film, other than in the beginning. And then we got a little thing at the middle of the movie, like, yeah, my dad died like 5 years ago, and I didn't even show up at the funeral because I was too embarrassed to show my face. I was like, okay, tell us more, kind of thing. Like, I want to more, like, like, oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of like one of those moments like Paul Zavino, right? From Goodfellas, like, oh, F you, pay me. Like, it's just one of those moments. It's like, give me what I want. Uh, but
Oh, you had a month this
yeah,
month? You pay
exactly.
me.
Like, but let's go to this the
Oh,
when
man.
he goes. This was probably one of my favorite scenes with Woody Harrelson in this film. Is when he tricks Ishmael and goes to his family and is acting like a member of the Amish community. This the first scene of this part when he's actually like trying to show and prove himself that he's this is him getting the milk. He's like, yeah, it was hard to get out. We don't have a cow. We have a bull. And the whole time,
I sent you that this
dude, I got
I
it.
sent you that gift this morning.
I got it. And I was in there like, I hate you, Pat. The other thing I loved about the Amish scene was Buttercup.
Oh my god, yeah.
That part made me laugh a lot because when you see Buttercup the next time, he's shorter than when you first see him. That stuff gets me. Um, when the brother sets out to find Ishmael and he's riding the carriage and the horse through the whole country, that was another good point. I just love that scene. Uh, I love how even the dad kind of gives hints to bowling too when he's talking to Ishmael, like, "Oh, the angels must be bowling." It was just like it's like, "Okay," and Ishmael's like, "I'm gonna go bowl," The
You got something sweeter than
it
you
what
who.
was it? The other things I liked is the stimulant scene where he sits there and he's like, "You wanna smoke?" "Oh, no," and he goes, "Oh, no, that's good." "Oh, okay." And he's sitting there, Ishmael's smoking, and he goes, "I'm gonna go get a coffee, you want one?" And he goes, "Oh, we can't drink coffee, it's a stimulant," and he goes, "What do you think cigarettes are?" "Oh, okay, a large with extra cream." Extra cream.
Extra cream.
And then when he walk out of the thing
He's
and he sits there and he's all pissed off at him, Ishmael or Munson is because of what he bowled a 187. And he goes, "You played a league player," and he goes, "Well, I told you." He said, "Thought you told me your average was 276." And he goes, "Yeah, over 15 frames." What?
that's for Quakers.
That scene got me so good because I'm sitting there like what?
We do everything plus
Yeah,
a
yeah,
half.
we do everything. Yeah, 10 frames. That's for Quakers. Like, I'm sitting there like, what? Um, that scene
Yeah.
got me good with
The
him. Like Ishmael and Munson's relationship, I did like at points, but I do feel there were other points that it was too much. And I felt like for Randy Quaid, it was just kind of an awkward role for him. And I know I get it.
mhm.
He's never shied away from a dumb role or anything like that. But this was just a role that just did not fit him. I don't
It did. Yeah. I can see that going one way or the
yeah,
other,
like
right? It's like you either do or you don't
right.
like it.
I think for me, like when I heard Chris Farley was looked at, I was like, I could have seen him play that. Like he is
Mhm.
that type of person. I could have seen it perfectly with him. But like with somebody like Randy Quaid, it was just kind of an awkward role for him because he's always been kind of one of the star. Like when he shows up, you know it's going to be a funny movie kind of thing.
It's definitely a random like, if you're looking at, like, the cast list for this movie, you're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
Randy Quaid."
Yeah, he's kind of like for him to be a recognizable name and yet he's kind of one of the sideline characters. It was kind of like, okay, like I get it. He was like that in National
Yeah,
Lampoon's
I mean,
movies.
he's got more screen time than Big
Yep.
Earn does, it's like but Big Earn shines so much
In that
more,
little
like,
span of
in this
time.
movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Like, he's really only in it in the beginning of that whole beginning
Yeah.
sequence of the movie, so you get to know what his character is or who he is, and then, like, you don't see him till later in the tournament.
One of the one of the
That's
other
it.
things I loved with Ishmael is when you get the introduction of Claudia. And one, I want to talk about Munson with his money. You see a $100 bill, and then underneath you just see a whole bunch of Monopoly money sitting under.
Yeah, just make sure you win.
That scene got me good. The freezer scene, that scene got me good too. Like Claudia's it's like I'll have a couple. I can't say those words either because of inappropriacy. But and then when he got, oh, I got you, and then he goes over, his nipples are pointing up. And they're like, bull.
He's like he's like, "What do you want, Mr. Munson?" He's like, "Whatever."
And then he turns, uh. That scene got me good too. That's why I said, like, or even when he goes, "Oh, we can't bet. We're not betting men. We're not this. I'll bet for you. You don't even have to bet." And he goes, "Oh, then that's okay." And it's like, I'm like, okay. Um, I also loved like the other line I want to bring up was when Claudia first goes and they go have dinner or lunch that day. And the girl comes up, "You want to dance, handsome?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm good." And he goes, "I wasn't talking to you." And Claudia goes, "She said handsome, not handless."
Mm, yeah, I mean, yeah, good one. That's probably my favorite Claudia line of the whole movie, like, it's that whole table scene right there, like, is that how do you, where do you get that from? Oh, prosthetics, aisle
And
6.
then when you see him go up and punch the guy or punch Ishmael, and he goes, "That's really brave of you. You really like." It's just like that's why I like her and Munson's character so much because it's just that sarcastic tone between both of them, but those feelings develop over time. Like it just works so well for both of them, you know. Um, Even their trips throughout, like you brought up the whole scene with the sheep. I was thinking the old
Mhm.
ladies when they couldn't pay and they took one of the scooters as payment. They
Oh,
took the
yeah.
scooter for payment. But what other scenes do you enjoy about the film, Pat?
Oh, man, like, I think the bowling scene
Yeah,
at the end, like, that whole tournament and honestly, I like the whole movie. Don't get I love the whole movie. It's one of my favorite movies. One of my I think too, one thing I want to stress, I know this is for our sports related, what we've been doing a little bit, but I like this movie more as a comedy movie and not so much a sports movie. I just think for me, it just happens to have
Mm.
sports in it. Um, but with that being said, like I love the whole time they're in Reno. Like when they get to Reno, like and then it just seems like it gets fun from there. Like it's already been kind of fun, but it gets a little bit more has a different tone
Well,
to it,
it
I
takes
guess.
more
I
of a
don't know. I
serious
just like
tone
that.
then because now he's got to take this a little bit more seriously. Now he's stepping in into the bowling scene
Yeah.
instead of ish. You know, there's a lot of things with that, and I agree with you that like that was something like you talked about Sandlot and how you don't look at it as so much a baseball film. You look at it as more of a coming of age, which I think we both agree.
Mhm.
That's how I looked at with this movie. I don't bowling's in it, but I don't feel like bowling's the main focus.
Yeah, it's not even though the movie is called Kingpin, like it just seems like I don't know, for what they show in the movie, there's not I mean, I guess that's how they make their money, right? They're going bowling from place to place. So there is a decent amount of bowling in it, but it's like I think you get so encapsulated with the characters and what they're trying to accomplish in the
Mhm.
long run. You just seem I guess you just seem more in
Mhm.
depth into what's going on around those characters and not so much the bowling
Agreed.
aspect.
I think that was something I would always say, like that final scene with Munson and McCracken, with that final bowling scene. It took a that was where I went, okay, this is really like the bowling we're getting. Yeah, you got hints to bowling throughout the film. Wasn't like that. I just feel like, and oh, that was the other thing I want to talk about. That beginning scene with Munson coming into the bowling and the ball stops midway. I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, why couldn't you do that throughout the whole movie? If you're going to do
Right.
it for this one scene, why can't you do it for throughout the film? It's like it's showing like, oh, he has these special powers. He's telekinetic, and then all of a sudden, it's like he doesn't do that the rest of the film. So what the hell? Like,
Oh, the at the very beginning, right, when they're going when they have the disco oh, the "Burn, baby,
yeah,
burn."
like
What about this hey, how do you feel about the soundtrack in this movie? Because that's another thing I loved about this movie. Like, it made the movie, so much better. Like, I I just think, like, the music they chose for what scenes they played it for, like, it just went. And I think it also set a tone for the kind of movies that these directors have done. I mean, I kinda get that same vibe like, they have that same, like, '90s vibe to them. That's what I love about them. It's like, Dumb and Dumber has a great soundtrack.
this one, I will say, out of the Farley Brothers like soundtracks, this is probably one of the weaker ones for me. And it's not a bad thing. All of their soundtracks are really good. This is just not one that stands out to me the most. The song choices were great from the movie. I'm not saying like that. Like
Mhm.
that first song with "Burn, Baby, Burn." You have all the even the ending song in the credits that the Amish community.
Uh,
Uh,
that's,
yeah,
Blues Traveler, and Blues Traveler, I think, did their music video
yeah.
for that
That's why I
movie.
said like I remember
Yeah,
Blues Traveler because
um,
one of their most the songs I always think about is the song that starts off in kicking and screaming.
mhm.
You know,
And then
just keep me in there.
John Popper,
Yeah.
the lead singer for them, he's the announcer at the
Yes, he
bowling
is.
tournament. He's like, "22 topping
Yeah.
potato bar." Yeah.
I that's why I said, like, there's really no other really, like, dislikes I hated about the film. I didn't like the gangster like, the guy, the mob dude, whatever you wanna call him, the one
I liked him.
I
Stanley?
didn't
Yeah. Well, I like that actor because I like him in Me, Myself, and Irene. Because he's the fellow cop with, Robert
right.
Forster. Or Robert Forster's, like, the main sheriff, but he's, like, the cop under him.
I just felt like with
Yeah,
him, it just, like I don't know why. I just he kinda gave me the creeps a little bit, like, I was just like, "I don't."
with his hair, with his, like, silver
Well, yeah,
stripe.
and then at the end of the movie, when you see him at the his last scene when he confronts Munson, they're like, "Oh, where's this McCracken? What's your relationship to him?" And he goes, "Oh, you want to know my relation? This is the man who did this to me." He goes, "Oh, it's 14 karat? No." the rubber hand.
I love it's so that part, like, with the whole ring and the prosthetic hand, like, it's a joke throughout
What
the
are we
whole
gonna do with the
movie, and I
prosthetic
love
hand? No, the ring. That like the check-in scene was the best one. She's like, "What am I gonna do with the rubber hand?" I'm like, it's just because it's an older lady saying it too. It made me,
Yeah, and then at the end, when they finally he's like, "Oh, that's a nice" he actually acknowledges
yeah.
the ring. I did kinda like I like some of the Amish stuff too. Like, "Nobody leaves the
Oh
dinner
yeah, that
bell,"
scene
and
was perfect because he sits there and he hears the dinner. I don't know what they do here in your neighborhood, but here in Pennsylvania, we do not do that. And it's just like,
and that's what I'm saying too with, like, the soundtrack is, like, they had the "Sooner or later," like, just playing during that. It goes so well, and it was
I love how
so
some of the
90s.
people were
That's what
jumping
about
off
it.
the structure when it was going down. And he sits there and they all just look at him and go, "You know what they say in the Bible, right?"
Yeah, you know what they say about not
Yeah,
forgiven?
it's
It's
against
against
it.
it.
Yeah, he goes, "Why don't you tell us, Brother Munson?" Or it's against it.
Yeah,
They all walked off pissed. That
so good, man.
that's
It's
why I
so
said it's
good.
just
Even, man, I just wanna it's like, I don't wanna end this and not, like, mention all the funny parts that I love about this, but, like, even the whole, where he hires his buddy to, like, make him look like a hero to his landlord.
that well, I already told you
He's like,
that kind of was on one of my downsides of the movie because I just didn't feel like I get it. He's a con artist, so it's showing you how much of a con artist.
or when he steals the bottle from the baby to put it because he couldn't get the
Yeah, you want
freebies.
me to tell you the best part of the movie is the end of the movie, and when he gets the sponsor and it's Trojan condoms.
Oh, yeah, it's
Rubber
perfect.
hand. It's like God. And but I
It's
loved
so
how
good.
he donated the check to Ishmael's family. That to me meant a lot. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, that it shows you how much that's where I felt like there was a huge change in him too, because that's where you get that moment where he's like, you know what, I still gotta do what's right, and he gave the check off. It was a good scene. That's why I said like that scene too was good. What's the other scene I think I I really liked? Like I said, I loved like when they're going through all like when they're starting to con people. That those scenes were good, and then when
Mhm.
they finally get their heads on straight, and work together as a team. Oh yeah, Randy Quaid and as a stripper, never again.
Yeah, and I think that's a part too where I think it blends well with the whole Chris
Yeah,
Farley
I
idea.
think if it was Chris Farley, because we've seen him do Trippendale skits on Saturday Night Live.
Oh my god, with
That's
him and
like one of the
Patrick
best
Swayze, bro,
sketches
that's
in Saturday Night Live history.
so funny.
Like I could have seen that.
Kevin Nealon's like,
I could have seen him in that role than somebody like Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid at this point, well, what? Randy Quaid was already what in his 40s?
no, I'm just thinking of that scene, because it's so funny, it's like Patrick Swayze is obviously, like, way more in
Yeah,
shape than
these
he is,
series
and
all
he's like, "Man, I'm really nervous, man." He's like, "Dude, he's like, "You look great. I think you're gonna do fantastic." Like, it just I don't know, it's so
it's a
funny,
good
like,
scene. That's why I said like it's such
polar
yeah.
opposite, yeah. I haven't seen that in years, but
I'm
when
gonna
you
send
just
it to
brought
you
it I
after
thought,
this
"Wow, you brought"
recording. So,
oh, think yeah, I didn't watch it. It's been forever, but I think it's so ingrained in my head,
that to
it's like
me, that and
yeah.
Down by the River, like two of the most iconic sketches for me when it comes to Chris Farley. And then, or like movie wise, you have Tommy Boy as being kind of one of his big highlights for me.
There was one with him and, Adam Sandler, where Adam Sandler is the grandma,
Oh
and, like, he's
yes,
the
yes.
coming over to do help for oh my god, that
Well,
one's
actually, I'll
so
take that
good.
back. I have a more iconic clip with
Or them at the Gap store
yeah.
too with, David Spade.
My other favorite one is the Bears. The Bears.
Bears,
I've had
the Bears.
I've had about 14 heart attacks last week. Oh man.
Always have one back.
Like it just I that's why I felt like when I heard that, it's like I could have seen him play Ishmael. Like I could have seen it. I could have visualized it. And I was like, after watching it again today, I was like, yeah, I could have seen that like a lot better. I don't even know who else I would have put in Ishmael. That was another thing I was thinking. Is like I don't really know.
You think Bill Murray was perfect
McCracken?
for Bigger?
Yes, I
Yeah.
already said, like, I feel like that is personally Bill Murray. Like, I feel like that is the way he can portray a villain, and he can do it correctly. Like I said, this is one of those odd moments where I'm like, okay, I could get behind you a little bit. His humor, like, I don't feel like his humor now, like, it wouldn't stand up now in this film. Compared, like, if it was made now compared to when it was made, I don't feel like that humor would have stood very well with some of the stuff he states. But I feel
Mhm.
like for the time, I feel like it was perfect Bill Murray. Let's ask this. If you could see them remaking, I feel like this is a great way to kind of go into the closing parts of this episode. Um, if you could see them remaking this film, who do you see in the 3 or the 4 most iconic roles?
Here we go.
I got one from Munson, but I kind of feel like it kind of like goes to another older gentleman, and I don't know if I really want that. I was thinking Matthew McConaughey for some reason.
Real.
As Munson?
Yeah, that would be good. You know, I was thinking, he's no longer with us, but I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman would be great.
As who?
Um, Maybe as like like part of the
His
Amish
brother.
community or something like
His
that, or
brother.
like yeah, maybe not Ishmael
His
entirely, but
brother and
like
his dad, I
I
think, would work perfectly for him. Like, I could have
yeah.
seen that. Like, who would you put as Ishmael nowadays? That's a harder one. Like,
Nowadays,
I have one, but I know it's kind of an odd.
I was about to
That's
say Glenn
exactly who
Powell,
I
but that's
was
probably
thinking. I was
no
thinking
way.
Glenn
Yeah,
Powell's
yeah.
like this would be a role I feel like he would take in a heartbeat. Glenn Powell would have been perfect for this role. I was thinking, I was like, is he gonna say what I'm thinking? He's gonna say because that's the same person I was thinking. Glenn
Yeah, that's
Powell is
perfect.
exactly who I was thinking for because he will take roles like this. He could play a perfect Munson too. I could see him play either or. He would
Yeah,
be a good Munson as well.
a good
I don't like.
Munson's.
You would need somebody polite too for Ishmael.
I think
Glenn
Glenn Powell
Powell
would
would
be
be
good with
good.
that.
Who would you put as Claudia? I have one pick, but I feel like it's the obvious pick. Sydney Sweeney.
Um, yeah, you could do
I
that. Sydney Sweeney. I was thinking Ana de
and
Armas, but she's too.
she's too more expensive now too. Sydney Sweeney's getting up there too, but I feel like she would. I feel like Ana de Armas would have a harder time in a movie like that compared to somebody like Sydney Sweeney. Who would you put as McCracken nowadays? That's the harder pick for me because I have a couple, but I don't know if they would do really good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could. I mean, I would even see an older Bill Murray be reprise his
It's kind
role
of
as
like
Ernie.
Shooter McGavin in the second Happy Gilmore.
Dude, Shooter McGavin, Happy Gilmore was so good.
Shooter McGavin. Have you seen the second one yet? Okay,
Yeah,
I liked him in the second one. Like he was actually one of the highlights to
I
me
did
in
too.
that movie. In the second one, to me.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought the whole movie was good.
Okay, I got a perfect one for McCracken. You ready? Because of his role in Happy Gilmore 2. You ready? Haley Joel Osment.
Oh
He
yeah,
would be
I
a
like that.
perfect
I like that
McCracken if
pick.
he brought his personality from Happy Gilmore 2 and took it to play in a remake of Kingpin as McCracken. Oh, I think it would be
Dude,
perfect.
he shows up to the for the round and he's in shorts. He's like, it's a two-stroke. He's like, that's fine. I'll
Yeah.
make it up.
It just, that's why I said, like, I could see him pulling that off too. I think that would be perfect for him to pull off. Munson's the harder part for me. That's why I said, like, I could go somebody like McConaughey. I could see.
Big Earn, and this is gonna be a wild pick right here. I just think because of who he is, and especially if there's not a lot of screen time for Big Earn in this, I think Tom Cruise could
No,
easily be a
don't
big
do that for me.
yeah. I'm only thinking of his transformation he had
Tropic
in
Thunder?
yeah,
No,
I
no.
yeah, I do think Tom Cruise would kind of fit it
You want me
well,
to tell you another one that would play for?
if you kinda just let him if you kinda did the same thing and let him have free range in what he was gonna say, I just think he'd be able to pull
You
it
want me to tell you
off.
another one I could see do this? I don't know if he'd do it now because he is a little older. I could see somebody like Ben Stiller do it because he's played
Yeah,
two iconic
yeah, I
villains
can
in
see that.
movies anyway. White Goodman and a dude from Heavyweights.
Oh, there you go. So,
Yeah, I
Tony
couldn't remember
Perkis?
his
You
name, but
Perkis
I
on him?
remember he's a villain. It's been a long time.
There's Mother Earth, Father Sky, and your dear old Uncle Tony.
But so I think this is a great way to start kind of heading out towards the end of the podcast. So, Pat, on a
Okay.
scale of 1 to 10 pins, where are you putting it?
Man, this is one of my favorite movies, and I'm saying this is one of my favorite comedies of all time. Very rewatchable for me. It's funny because if you have a Samsung, you know how it has the little automated Samsung
Mhm.
TV like station in it or whatever. You know, every time they actually have Kingpin playing on their like
Mhm.
movie channel. Like, all right, cool. I'll just put it on. Baby's chilling. Like, just put it on for background noise. Because, but I think because of that, and because of how much I love, you know, the characters in this movie, the joke writing in this movie is fantastic. And just the way that these directors make their movies in general. I love all their movies. I don't think, Dumb and Dumber is uh nearly it's way more successful than this movie, and we've kind of
Mhm.
talked about that, but sorry to keep pandering on, but I'm gonna give this movie a 9.8 pins.
Okay.
And that's a lot higher than what
Yeah,
you're gonna give it, I
I
already know. This probably
mine
is gonna be
you'll be
I'm
shocked. Okay. It's not as low as you think, but it is lower for me. It is going to be a solid 7. I'm I'm
That's
not
not
saying
terrible.
I almost originally when I watched it the first time, I think I had like a 5.8, 5.9. And again, member fans, I'm not the biggest humor or comedy fan, but
Mhm.
watching it again and getting past that humor and actually getting behind the story, it was just like, okay, I could get this a little higher because I do like the
Yeah,
story parts of the movie. When it's not focused on the humor and stuff, you can actually get a good point from it. And I feel like it's just a good coming of age story. It's a good or a good film movie. Like it's gonna a feel good movie. It's gonna give you that moment at the end where you just feel good about the whole situation. And it's decent. It's very slept on film. Would I ever go out of my way to watch it like you do? Probably not. This is probably a maybe
I get you.
once every few years I watch it. If it's on, it's not gonna hurt me if I never watch it again. But
Damn.
but hey, be glad I gave it a 7. I do feel like 7 is a solid ranking for this film.
No, that's
Yeah.
passing for me. I mean, usually when I rate these movies or when we do, and that's what I love rating these movies with you, but I think anything a 7 is good. Anything past a 7 is good. So, the fact that you m did this movie as a 7 for me is I love that. I'm glad you liked it because it seems like obviously you did
It
like it.
it it was
Yeah.
more stuff that lingered through the film that made me rank it that low. And so
Mhm.
but it still wasn't a bad movie. I would watch it again, but I would never go out of my way to watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think the folks at home need to watch this
agreed.
movie. You guys should check it out. It's a really good movie. Should watch it at least once and see what you
Mhm.
think. But yeah, I think this is a perfect way to
Yeah.
end it, man.
Member fans, check us out, J4F Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Also, check us out on Spotify and YouTube for other great movie and show content. I almost up there. Movie and show content. If you like this content, you want more of it, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit that bell notification so you never miss an episode. And without further ado, I turn it over to Patty B to take us out.
Yeah, thank you, folks. We appreciate it. Thank you, B Dog, as always. And remember, we do it just for Flix.